You may talk of Clara Nolan's ball or anything you choose, but it couldn't hold a snuff box to the spree at Kelligrews. If you want your eyeball straightened, just come out next week with me, and you'll have to wear your glasses at the Kelligrews Soiree. There was birch rind, tar twine, cherry wine and turpentine, jowls and cavalances, ginger beer and tea. Pig's feet, cat's meat, dumplings boiled in a sheet, dandelion and crack his teeth at the Kelligrews Soiree. Oh, I borrowed Clooney's beaver as I squared me yards to sail, and a swaller tail from Hogan that was foxy on the tail. Billy Cudahy's old working pants and Patsy Nolan shoes, and an old white vest from Fogarty to sport at Kelligrews. There was Dan, Millie, Joe, Lily, Tan, and Mrs. Tilly dancing like a little filly 'twould raise your heart to see. Jim Bryan, Din Ryan, Flipper Smith and Caroline, I tell you boys we had a time at the Kelligrews Soiree. Now when I arrived at Betsy Snooks that night at 8:30, the place was blocked with carriages, stood waiting at the gate. With Clooney's funnel on me pate, the first words Betsy said, "Here comes the local preacher with the pulpit on his head." There was Bill Muse, Dan Hughes, Wilson Taft and Teddy Rose, while Bryant he sat in the blues and looking hard at me. Jim Fling, Tom King, Johnson champion of the ring, and all the boxers I could bring at the Kelligrews Soiree. Now the Saratoga Lancers first, Miss Betsy kindly said, "Sure I danced with Nancy Cronin and her granny on the head." And Hogan danced with Betsy, you should have seen his shoes, as he lashed old muskets from the rack that night at Kelligrews. There was biled guineas, cold guineas, bullocks' heads and pickaninnies, and everything to catch the pennies you'd break your sides to see. Biled duff, cold duff, apple jam was in a cuff, I tell you boys we had enough at the Kelligrews Soiree. Crooked Flavin struck the fiddler, and a hand I then took in. You should see George Clooney's beaver, and it flattened to the rim. And Hogan's coat was like a vest, the tails was gone, you see. Oh, says I, the devil haul you and your Kelligrews Soiree.